This is the Synthetic Signal Report for Monday, March 30th, 2026, in the afternoon. Today's report analyzes the discovery of spyware components in the official White House mobile application and the release of Coasts, a new containerized hosting system for autonomous agents. We examine the ongoing failure of the military's $8 billion GPS software, OCX, and a massive surge in AI token usage in China. This report also covers a new private information retrieval design for the Ethereum state, a high-accuracy Alzheimer's prediction model, and the impact of rising oil prices on global markets. A new security analysis has identified significant privacy risks in the official White House mobile application, labeling it as Fedware. The report highlights that while the United States government has moved to ban specific foreign technologies, its own primary engagement app utilizes components and tracking mechanisms similar to those found in Huawei spyware. The application reportedly includes a direct tip line to immigration and customs enforcement, raising concerns about the use of public-facing software for covert surveillance and data collection. Analysts discovered that the app's telemetry frameworks are capable of monitoring user movements and interactions with high granularity, exceeding the functional requirements of a government information portal. This finding points to a technical hypocrisy where government-issued software adopts the very surveillance tactics it regulates in the private sector. The analysis suggests that the data exfiltrated by these apps is routed through internal government pipelines without the transparency typically required for consumer software. In the field of autonomous development, a new system called Coasts has been released to manage containerized environments for coding agents. Coasts, short for containerized hosts, allows developers to run multiple local host instances and Docker Compose runtimes across different Git work trees on a single machine. This infrastructure is specifically designed to support agents that make real-time code changes. By isolating each agent within its own containerized host, the system prevents conflicting dependencies and environment drift when multiple autonomous entities are working on the same codebase. This is a critical development for scaling agentic workflows, as it provides the necessary sandbox for AI models to test and execute code without compromising the stability of the primary development environment. The tool includes a video documentation series at coasts.dev to assist practitioners in deploying these distributed runtimes. The United States Space Force is facing ongoing challenges with the Next-Generation Operational Control System, known as OCX. Despite 16 years of development and a total cost exceeding $8 billion, the software designed to manage the GPS navigation network still does not function as intended. Last year, the Space Force officially took ownership of the operating system, but technical reports indicate it remains plagued by command and control errors. The OCX project was intended to modernize the ground-based infrastructure for the GPS constellation, providing enhanced cybersecurity and better signal accuracy for military assets. However, the complexity of the software architecture has led to persistent delays. This remains one of the most troubled space programs in the military's portfolio, highlighting the difficulties of maintaining legacy satellite systems with modern, high-complexity software updates. Data from the hardware sector reveals that daily AI token usage in China has reached 140 trillion. This represents a 1,000-fold increase over the past 2 years. Analysts are currently debating whether this massive spike is driven by genuine demand or if the hype surrounding the OpenClaw platform is a cover to burn excess compute capacity. The demand is currently straining the supply of equipment and talent within the Chinese semiconductor industry. Senior executives admit the country still lags 5 to 10 years behind in data center chip technology, but the sheer volume of token generation suggests a massive infrastructure mobilization. This surge in activity is creating bottlenecks in the supply of passive components and specialized workforce capacity, as the domestic industry attempts to keep pace with international AI scaling. A new research paper by Ali Aisha and Kiwoo Lee proposes a Sharded private information retrieval, or PR, designed for the Ethereum state. PR is a cryptographic protocol that allows a user to retrieve data from a database without the server knowing which piece of data was requested. For Ethereum, this would allow light clients to query the blockchain state with high levels of privacy. The Sharded design addresses the scalability issues of traditional PR, which are often too computationally expensive for large datasets. By distributing the retrieval task across multiple shards, the system maintains privacy while significantly reducing the overhead for the network. This research is a major step toward making decentralized networks more resistant to metadata analysis and state surveillance. Researchers have developed a new AI model capable of predicting Alzheimer's disease with nearly 93% accuracy. The system analyzes subtle changes in brain scans that often go undetected by human clinicians during early-stage screenings. By identifying these structural markers years before the onset of severe symptoms, the model provides a window for early intervention. This is an update to previous efforts in medical imaging, focusing on the interpretability of how the AI identifies neurodegenerative patterns. The goal is to integrate this tool into routine clinical workflows, allowing for a more proactive approach to brain health as the global population ages. Community chatter is focused on several critical security flaws. A high-severity vulnerability has been identified in FreeRDP, specifically within the buffer reallocation logic of the H.264 codec. If not patched, this could lead to memory corruption during remote desktop sessions. The WordPress community is tracking a critical remote code execution vulnerability in the contact form by Subsystic plugin. This flaw involves server-side template injection and affects all versions up to 1.7.36. In the world of Linux, the creator of systemd, Lennart Pettering, has blocked a request to remove age verification code from the repository. This has led to the creation of a fork called Liberated Systemd, which removes these features. Users describe the original code as pointless and ineffective for child safety while expressing concerns over increased surveillance. In the hardware space, Samsung has announced its first solid-state drive using RISC-V cores in its controller, promising higher energy efficiency than traditional designs. Finally, the price of Brent crude has hit $116 a barrel as geopolitical tensions between the United States and Iran escalate, with markets pricing in the risk of strikes against Iranian oil export hubs. This concludes the Synthetic Signal Report for Monday.